Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and anybody who's not binary out there. My name's Joe Biscuit-Hat-Storino, and I am joined with Reese, also known as Euromoose, and Sean Membone, who is streaming tonight. Reese, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been played a few games earlier today. Played Witcher 3 most of the rest of the day. It's been a good day.
That's good. That's good. I played two games of League, and I am super tilted. So let's go. It's going to be a great night. So speaking of tonight, we have a great matchup coming in here. It's going to be huge. It's the Power Bottom Boys versus the Long Anime Schlongs here. We're looking at a really great matchup here. We're going to have a really interesting matchup here in this top lane between Front Lash and General Dill, as well as Neil the Steel facing Labby in the jungle. Really excited to see how the top half of this map tonight ends up playing out here in match one. But yeah, Reese, what are you looking forward to tonight?
So I'm definitely looking forward to this top lane matchup. General Dill, consistently just a very good player, very good top laner, and facing off against someone who I think is equally talented in Front Lash. I think the two facing off will be a very even match. And if either one gets ahead, they tend to snowball the game and can basically end. Especially Front Lash's Nasus is something huge to watch out for. I wouldn't be surprised to see that banned away. General Dill has shown you can play a huge variety of champions. So going into pick bans, to see Anivia banned away immediately, followed by Misfortune taken away from Power Bottom Boys. I'm not surprised to see some AD carry bans. It seems like other than Front Lash, their main carry is Fudgy Ditters in that bot lane.
Okay.
Lee Sin ban away from Labby, very well known for that champion, but hasn't yet seen very much success on it.
Yeah, we've seen the Lee Sin ban come in almost every game if it's not picked. So Labby, we all know, is a very good Lee Sin player. That's how he got out of gold, or out of silver, I mean, and that's what I said last time I casted the Long Animation or the Power Bottom Boys game. So Lee Sin ban is nothing out of the ordinary here, especially against Labby.
Yeah. So we're really flying through these pick bans. I was going to say the Trundle's a flex pick, but immediately followed by Poppy, which is almost certainly going top. Lucian and Morgana, two power picks in the meta right now. Lucian in the meta as a whole, Morgana in our PMA LCS meta. I believe an 80% pick ban rate is going on. But Poppy taken away from General Dill, one of his more well-known champions, I think. That does mean the Trundle in the jungle, which it has been taken there before.
Yeah, we've seen Front Lash be an avid Poppy player, as well as just Poppy in general is a really hard tank to deal with her ult, as well as the stun and the movement cancel with her E and W, respectively. So with that being said, Poppy's a great ban here. We've seen it a lot with when Front Lash is playing, so it definitely makes sense here to ban out Poppy. Going off of that, I don't see any of the pick and bans in the actual champion select board, so I don't understand really what's going on here.
We're doing in the pro draft.
Oh,
that's a link for that. But Poppy was actually picked on the side of Power Bottom Boys. It looks so far to be Trundle jungle, Poppy top, Ezreal in the bot lane, and Orianna. They're hovering for mid lane right now. Long animation longs have already locked Lucian, Morgana, Victor, and Jax. Jax could be a jungle flex. I feel like the matchup against Poppy, Jax versus Poppy would be tough because the lead strike can be blocked, though he could just wait out the W.
like we saw, I believe, last night with Shen being played and with it performing not as well as we hope or General Dill hope, Shen is still left open. And unfortunately, General Dill will not pick that as he is going to go Garen here in the top lane. We've seen Garen perform very well. I believe Bear Jr. played it a few weeks ago against Illusion top. So it'll be interesting to see what'll happen here. Even, since Delusion is on the same team, I don't believe Garen is the best pick against a Trundle top or a Poppy Pop, excuse me, but I could be mistaken as I am not a top laner myself.
Yeah, so the Garen matchup into Poppy, I think, does pretty well. First of all, like there aren't any dashes to worry about getting interrupted on Garen. I'll be honest, I don't know top lane matchups, but
Just like our proud sponsors have just told us, apparently it looks like Garen doesn't have as good of wave clear as Poppy. However, Poppy does have to spend a lot in that top lane to have that wave clear potential. So with that being said, it'll be an interesting matchup to see. It all depends on how both players farm and if they could catch each other out. But I would like to say that this game actually can determine what the rankings are, as the long anime schlongs here are 8-4, and the power bottom boys are actually 7-5. So even if they go 1-1, it'll keep the standings. Long anime schlongs are in second place, as the power bottom boys are in third. But if the power bottom boys can pull a 2-0 tonight, we could see them move up to second place and close the gap between them and the codename carries next door, which I don't know about you, Reese, but I would love to see that. I'm a big fan of upsets, and I think the Power Bottom Boys definitely deserve that. Not saying they're the long animation, but it would be cool to see. Big fan of the switcheroo, but
yeah, I'd say if we're looking at who's going to clinch a second place bye as we go into the postseason, it's definitely these two teams are good, two of the top contenders. Also very close to them in the standings are Ocean Z Girls, new team Assemble with 7 and 8 wins respectively. But yeah, the spots in the standings after Coding carries next door are all pretty tight, all within 1 win of each other. So a 2-0 either way here could be very, very important for postseason.
Mm-hmm. Oh, go ahead, Reese.
I was just going to continue to say long anime songs, if they get the 2-0, particularly this week. Next week they'll face Ocean Z Girls, who are coming off of an 0-2 loss game against Codename Carries Next Door. The very last week, there's a chance they could be threatening Codename Carries Next Door's first place.
Interesting. So with that being said, this match is very, very detrimental here to both teams, depending on, who takes the 2-0. I believe if you're a Codename Carriers Next Door fan, you really want the Power Bottom Boys here to end this week with the 2-0 against Long Anime Schlongs, just to put Long Anime Schlongs on that, in the hot seat, so that they feel pressure going into their last week, because they know that if they lose, I believe even if it's one game, they will not make it to that bye week for the postseason. So with that being said here, Reese, who do you think has a better team comp?
So, okay, I want to start by talking about this bot lane. The advantage early game, I would say up until the end of the laning phase, is heavily in power bottom, or in the favor of the long animation lines. My bad. The Rakan essentially can't engage on a Morgana, with her Black Shield, it can't. He has a very hard time doing it. And Ezreal has a lot of poke, but Lucian can engage on him in a minion wave, and God forbid if he's caught by Morgana binding, Lucian can blow him up quickly. But the mid game synergy between Orianna and Rakan, Orianna can get a ball onto Rakan, and he runs into the enemy team. Just forget about it. That's you're looking at a 4-man, 5-man ult potentially. Trundle and Poppy going in as a pretty tanky front line can easily help Orianna and Ezreal clean up the fight. I do worry. Yeah, I do mainly worry about the power bottom boys. As we said, Poppy can push in Garen, but it will cost her a bit of mana, something Garen does not have to worry about. Early fights between Trundle and Jax, if they happen to come across each other, I don't believe either of them play a particularly aggressive jungle style, but I believe it could go either way. Orianna versus Victor, we see Orianna's taking Ignite, Victor taking Heal, so perhaps looking to get some aggressive plays off in that mid lane. And the bot lane, Ezreal taking Teleport, I see. So perhaps expecting to having a poor laning phase and trying to get back without being particularly affected by losing minions to the tower.
Yeah, definitely. Having that TP on the AD carry is definitely not the worst decision, especially in this new meta where, like you said, Ezreal's not going to really have a good early game. So having the TP can lead to a lot of rotational pressure, as well as having an easier time controlling the map. I guess that comes with the rotational pressure. So I'm not too against taking the TP, and I'm very shocked that Victor took heal over TP or Ignite. I understand why, because he'll need that in laning phase, but it might just be better to have Ignite or TP, like I said, to have that rotational pressure like the Ezreal has. Interestingly enough as well, the Morgana taking the Ignite just perpetuates the early game advantage that the Morgana and Lucian will have over the Rakan and Ezreal. So it'll be how these first 10, 15-ish minutes come out here for the Power Bottom boys. And with that being said, I think I got to give it to the Long and Michelins actually for this game. I think they have a little bit better of a team comp, because the Power Bottom boys, while they have a good team comp, it costs them a lot. Like we said, the Poppy can out-farm the Garen, but it costs the Poppy a lot. The Ezreal and the Rakan have super, super slow early game, so they need to farm up and hopefully not land, get hit with the Morgana Q. So I believe this game is going to be determined during the first 15 minutes, just because if the Power Bottom boys get so far behind Reese, I don't know if they'll be able to catch back up.
Yeah, I mean, I think with an engaged like Rakan or Orianna, I think there is always a chance that they could get just the perfect engage that they need in the mid game, even if they are a bit behind. Speaking of the Ignite on Morgana, yeah, it does provide a lot of pressure in lane, and will also be useful against the Trundle come mid game. I do prefer to go over the exhaust because Orianna and Ezreal, not really champions you want to exhaust. Poppy, she's the tank. You're not going to want to exhaust that. Trundle, potentially you could exhaust him, but late game he's going to start building more tank items, be a bruiser rather than a straight up damage dealer. It'll be too squishy to build that way. So, exhaust not really paying off at the end of the game on this Morgana. So smart choice taking the Ignite. I also wanted to mention Rakan with Guardian. not usually my preferred keystone on him. I prefer to take Airy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like that's an interesting choice because Airy, I like it because it gives a shield instantly as you cast it. The Airy will arrive before Rakan does.
Oh, right.
Well, Guardian, it's a bigger shield slightly. It's got a much longer cooldown, and
So with that being said, my ears are bleeding right now as the long anime schlongs are memeing the hell out of us. I love it. It's great. I don't need to hear what's music. Anyway, it looks like we're gonna have the level 1 invade coming in here for the long anime schlongs. They're gonna look. Oh, the Ezreal Q landing on Digital Love 69 is gonna show the long anime schlongs, and they're gonna have to disengage from the level 1 here. Very unfortunate that Ezreal landed that Q, so we don't see any sort of cheese here, and we're going to have a standard to start in PM LCS.
Yeah, Ezreal recalls him get the control ward with the gold from his Q. But we can see Ezreal started with a Fairy Charm and a Sapphire Crystal. What do you think about that?
So it looks like both junglers here are starting on the bot half of the map, so we might see a level 3 gank in the top lane for both sides. We typically have seen that here in PMA LCS, where both junglers will typically find themselves at the top scuttle crab, and we'll see a little bit of a skirmish, so I'm really hoping we do. I believe the Jax would probably win over the Trundle if they found each other, but I'm not too sure. It could go either way. Bone plating, gotta love it. Everybody literally takes it, as we saw with the Rakan, having it proc because he took some damage from the Lucian. So, Reese, what are your thoughts on bone plating?
I'm having a little trouble understanding you. I think your mic's cutting out a little bit. It might just be my connection not picking you up great.
How's that?
I'm not sure if it fixed any.
Okay.
But I did hear you wanted to hear my opinion on bone plating. It's pretty good. It's pretty good in the early game, especially against some champions that have like multiple hits at once, like Lucian and the Morgana. You're standing on her W, you'll proc bone plating a couple times. It's also good against like Malzahar and Teemo, who have damage over time.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a little better. Trundle's trying to make some aggressive moves on Jax's jungle. He's only level 2. Trundle's level up.
Oh, that's not going to be good, as the Trundle's going to have all of his abilities here. Oh, and the Jax is actually going to stun the Trundle here, and Trundle's going to use his pillar. Kneel the steal, though. We've seen him steal objectives before. He might try to steal this rep up from Trundle. I guess Trundle's actually just going to walk away. Classic disengage here. General Dill's taking a lot of damage here in this top lane, but it won't be enough to kill him, unfortunately. Ooh, but it looks like we have a mid-gank here as Labby is trying to find Victor here, and it won't probably be enough damage here as, yep, Victor can get away and doesn't have to blow his flasher here. That's really good for Victor here as, you know, he doesn't lose any sort of summoner spells or pressure in the mid lane just yet with that gank.
So it looks like Ezreal's starting items were to build a tier early and use the teleport to recall at probably 3 minutes. I didn't quite catch it, and then come back with the tier. I think, as an Ezreal player, I think that's an interesting strategy. I hate it.
Why do you hate it, Reese?
Yeah, it's apparently a pro player strategy, but I'm not a fan of it. I think early tier is pretty useless. Stacking it up doesn't actually do that much for you. It stacks pretty quick once you get it. So just rushing to get it early, not worth much.
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that one, Reese. I mean, while it is a pro strategy, just because the pros are doing it doesn't necessarily mean it can work. Just because the pros, obviously, they play League a lot more and they know exactly how the game kind of is structured and how it works. So doing a pro strat typically doesn't really work. I've seen it in my solo queue games where, the meta in pro play is god awful, but in my solo queue games, even today, an hour ago, it felt like nothing changed, if I'm being honest. So just like I said, just because something is happening in the pros doesn't necessarily mean it should happen here in PBB LCS. But it looks like Labby's trying to gain General Dill, but holy cow, that guy, General Dill, is just a freaking tank here. And as Labby doesn't do any sort of damage, probably because of that bone plating like we talked about earlier.
Yeah. Just in my opinion, the Ezreal so much more powerful with an early Sheen than a tier. That's the item I would rush. But we see there's not really any differences in farm building up in any of the lanes. It's all staying pretty even. A lot of fighting going around on the top side of the map, both in top lane and Jack's the side of the jungle. That red buff earlier.
Ooh, Rob is going to actually flash all, but it won't be enough as Victor's able to flash heal away. Sorry for cutting you off there, Reese. But it looks like Victor was able to get away here. Poppy did hit 6, so he's going in on General Dill here. But like I said, General Dill's so freaking tanky that he will not be harmed, actually. But it looks like Neil the Steel's caught out by Rob here as he knows that his flash and his ult are down, but it looks like Neil the Steel's able to scurry away. Uh-oh, it looks like Murphy's kind of caught out as well here. Just getting just so much damage getting hit by him as the Morgana Q lands. Like we talked about, that is going to be a very detrimental lane here for the next about 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm worried about this Jax. He has a. It seems like he's not quite as effective in engages as you'd want out of a Jax jungle. The Trundle is kind of doing a lot more across the map from my perspective, but we do see that he rushed a timeout over the completion of this jungle item. So yeah, we're seeing now that everyone's just about level 6. The bot lane should be hitting it soon in another wave or two. Speaking of level 6, I think that play that Orianna made earlier, I didn't quite get a chance to talk about it, was to take advantage of the fact that she reached level 6 before Victor, trying to translate that into a kill.
Ooh, but
work out as we saw.
Level 6 ult, Rob is actually going to biff his ult, but Neil the Steel is going to be caught out here as Rob's Q does so much freaking damage, but Neil the Steels might actually get away here. Labby did flash, but it won't be enough here. Oh my god, Neil the Steel is down to 11 HP, folks. Literally 11 HP, but he'll be able to get away.
Single-digit health for Neil the Steel. I feel like it was almost like a canceled auto attack that could have sealed his fate.
Yeah,
we saw that Labby blew his flash trying to pursue, but
yeah, I believe it looked like Labby used the T-map active instead of autoing or queuing first, and so I think if he would have done that instead, he would have been able to kill Neil the Steel, just because he only had 11 health. Yeah, and if Rob landed that shockwave, like I said, Rob did biff that ult. He obviously would have killed him because that would have done at least 11 more damage. So it looks like General Dill here is just pushing out front lash like we talked about earlier. However, Labby is here and he is looking for a gank. Oh my god, the pillar's going to land right on top of General Dill here. However, Poppy is so low, he might get executed by General Dill's ult, and actually he won't, but Jax is here to save his teammate here as General Dill did not go down but Front Lash did here for first blood, and now it looks like, yep, Labby goes down as well to the Garen ult.
No, I think that's exactly what Jax needed to catch back up and start becoming relevant as a Jax. You can see he's rushing the Phage to get his Triforce. Once he completes that item, he'll be a tremendous threat for most of PBB. It looked like he was still in the Herald. I think he backed off of it.
It looks like Rob is here, and he's going to ult Morgana here as she is going to blow stopwatch actually here to try to save herself here. And it looks like Murphy's actually going to go down. He's a Rakan. He's so squishy. And the TP in from General Dill comes in. It is not looking good here for Rob as as Fudgy Ditters is actually going to flash here, and Rob goes down, unfortunately, here. And it looks like Digital might be caught out. He was looking for, I guess Front Lash is looking for him, and yes, he does find him here, but General Dillon is now a little bit mispositioned. Hopefully Jackson come in here and save him, and it looks like, yeah, they're going to re-engage here. And the Jackson's actually going to stun Front Lash, and Front Lash is unfortunately going to go down as well. Definitely not a worth trade here in this bot lane fight. A lot of summoner spells were blown, but that is a 1 for 3, I believe. And first tower is actually also going to go to Long Anime Schlongs here in the mid lane, as well as Dragon. You know, this is the type of pressure you want to create when you get kills. You want multiple objective pressure here, and it looks like the Long Anime Schlongs are able to do that as Labby is trying to look for Neil to steal, but he's not going to find him.
Yeah, I do believe it's my internet that's the problem. I want to try to fix that real quick because it's hard to understand.
So with that,
I'll be right back. It'll take just 1 second.
It looks like the Long Anime Schlongs are about 3.5K ahead in gold, as well as they got first tower and first blood. So that's where a lot of that gold lead comes from. I mean, in those two things alone, they're going to have at least a 1K gold lead. And so having that Ocean Drake might not be the best kind of Drake for the Long Anime Schlongs at this point in the game. It doesn't hurt to have a free Drake, regardless if it's a cloud or a fire. So
yeah, three big things happened there that were really big for Long Anime Schlongs. First tower, huge gold advantage. The Ocean Drake, which I always want to call River Drake. They're all River Drakes.
Right.
Yeah, the Ocean Drake going over to them is really big early in the game especially, and it looks like the next will be an Infernal. That'll be very big for them as well. But also a third kill for Garen with a 30 CS lead. Individually, he has about 1,500 gold over Poppy. You don't want to play against a bad Garen.
It looks like Neil the Steel is actually going to look for the gank, as well as Victor here. Victor is bot, and he's just trying to find Rakan, actually, but it won't be enough here as they are going to... It looks like the Long Anime Schlons are actually going to 4-man bot. I really hope it works out for them, as, yes, it looks like the Power Bottom Boys bot lane actually had to back off here, and this might be second tower already, 13 minutes into the game. Holy cow. We're seeing a lot of rotational pressure here as it looks like Labby's trying to gank top as well. Labby is just taking so much damage from General Dill's E. However, it looks like both top laners or both of the Power Bottom Boys are going to ult, but it won't be enough here as Frontlash is just not tanky enough to dive.
Yeah, that's the problem playing against a healthy Fed Garen. He chooses the engage. It's just like that. I knew that would happen as soon as...
and it looks like we have a little skirmish here in the topside jungle here as Rob is trying to ult and ignite Neil the Steel, but it wasn't enough as that kill goes on to Victor here.
Yeah, I fed Garen with the movement speed boost on his Q and the amount of damage he gets to put out with the Black Cleaver. He gets to choose the engages, and you don't want to play against a Garen that's got the drop on you.
Yeah, we saw it the last time we saw Garen. Garen was able just to get so fed and single-handedly almost carried his team. And so with that being said, Garen's a great pick, especially if you get this early game pressure, like you said, Reese. And so, you know, having 4 kills and 0 deaths is very scary if I'm a Power Bottom boy. So
Are you a power bottom boy?
I'm a power bottom
Contractually
boy at heart
obligated.
here. Oh no, it looks like General Dill just Q's and E's, and that's a free flash from Labby here. It's just, oh, General Dill's just so big right now.
Yeah, here's another fun number. General Dill is 2 levels over front lash.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's-
so yeah, 5,000 gold lead at 15 minutes. That is 25%. That's a 25% lead. That's pretty damning. That's pretty hard to come back from. Again, it's quick maths. So I'm a power bottom boy. That turret that brought back about 1,000 gold. So that's one good way to come back. I think also this Ezreal. Okay, he is building the Iceborne Gauntlet. That'll be really big in kiting the Jax and Garen especially.
Definitely.
Again, we talked about this mid-game power engage from Rakan and Orianna. Definitely one of the best ball delivery systems that you can have. Poppy and Trundle as well, a huge front line. But my only concern is that with Trundle building Cinderhawk going tank, it would seem, I'm worried if they have the consistent damage to back up this front line. You know, Ezreal's got good damage as long as he can land a Q, but being that he's rushing Iceborne Gauntlet and not Triforce, I worry he might not have the damage that they need.
Yeah, you know, especially I'm Reese or both support mains. I really just don't like playing with Ezreals in general, just because they lack the the DPS. They just don't. Ezreals typically deal out burst damage, like you said, and I just do not like that. Just because Ezreal has to land his Qs to do damage. Basically, is the general gist of Ezreal. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Iceborne Gauntlet proc happens if he lands a Q typically. And with that being said, if he doesn't land his Qs, he's not using his Iceborne Gauntlet effectively. And so it's just, with having no DPS, like you said, really puts the power bottom boys in a bad spot. And like I said, I'm a power bottom boy. I want them to win here. But if they don't have any DPS, how are they going to be able to? I'm just not sure. As it looks like the long anime schlongs are just going to pressure this drag with the General Dill TP here and the Morgana binding on the Labby. Yep, that's just going to be, the Power Bottom boys are going down here with the Rakan ulted in, but it just wasn't enough here. As Frontlash actually came through the pit, I believe, but it's not going to be enough. The long anime schlongs are so low health, but
Poppy trying to make the heroic play on the back there, but yeah, I think they need to mainly focus on disengaging, kiting this Garen and Jax, not letting them get engaged, and for the love of God, don't get caught by Morgana Q. I mean, now that we just see a disconnect from Victor and reconnected.
And it looks like he reconnected, actually. But yeah, like you said, the Power Bottom boys cannot get caught out here. They are down 9 kills. Oh, wait, maybe Neil the Steel's actually caught out here. I'm not too sure. No, it looks because General Dill's here, unfortunately. And it looks like General Dill is just going to 1v3 and delete Ezreal.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. Our sponsors are questioning who the top laner is. Is it General Dill or is it Bear Jr.? I just don't know. As Rob is trying to kill Victor here, but it's just not enough. Rob just doesn't have the damage with his ulted ignite to kill Victor, and so he's just wasting those ults when he could use those in team fights, especially as the Rip Herald is just going to destroy bot lane. I don't even know where bot lane went, but it's just gone. Goodbye bot inhib. As Neil the Steel here goes onto Rob, but it's not enough, as Rob might actually die to minion. He does. Holy cow. That is not good here, as General Dill is again 1v3ing, and it looks like he's going to flash auto onto Ezreal and kills Ezreal again. Holy cow, Bear Jr., stop it. They all have families.
I mean, General Dill's his own Diamond 5 player. He does not have to be compared to Barrett Jr. here. He's pulling off some massive plays. Yeah. So,
speaking of General Dill and all the compliments we gave him, it looks like he might be caught out here. As it looks like he won't be able to dash. Yep, and he goes down. I don't even know if we can compare him to Bear Jr. after that.
Bear Jr. would have survived. But no, that was completely worth, because as they were chasing him, the three people on him, Victor was able to take a mid tower. So even when they catch him, he's dying to get a tower. Like, was it really worth, is the question.
With that being said, I gotta say it's worth. It looks like the long anime schlongs might be caught out here, as Lucian is gonna go down to Labby. Going for that blue buff was a little greedy on the side of the long anime schlongs. But yeah, I gotta agree with you, Reese. If towers are going down for deaths, I believe those are definitely fair trades. League of Legends, all about objectives and destroying the Nexus. So if you do something that gets you closer to that Nexus, you're doing a good job.
So Ezreal's finished Monomune. I think it's a pretty strong power spike for him, as there's 2 items, Monomune and Iceborne Gauntlet or Trinity Force. He's got his boots finished, and I think there's a chance he'd have 40% CDR off of that.
However, while Ezreal has his power spike, so does Garen. Garen's level 13, and I believe that's when his passive does the double healing, as it looks like Garen's actually going to find Murphy, but Murphy's going to W out. But like I said, I believe Garen's passive is a lot better now that he's level 13, and it looks like a Nexus turret is going down, as nobody's able to stop these super minions. Holy cow.
I'm a little confused why long anime schlongs are just starting Baron, because they can turn it on a dime if the enemy team comes to answer them.
Yeah, like you said, I think Baron would have been the right call here. However, it is very aggressive for them to not do it. But I got to be devil's advocate here. They know super minions are destroying the Nexus towers. They are able to push like this. They are up 9 kills. They just cannot get picked out. And with that being said, it looks like Poppy's actually going to find Digital up. Holy cow, is this a throw for the power bottom, for the long anime schlongs, as Morgana here looks like she Zonias, but it's not enough. She goes down, and it looks like, holy cow, this might be the throw here, as Frontlash gets a double kill. That is a 3 for nothing here, folks. There are minions on Nexus, however.
Teleport back to the Nexus just to stop those minions. Yeah, what happened there was they got caught without Garen. That's all it was. And they just weren't tanky enough to deal with it. Jax, we see going full damage at this point. Warrior Enchantment and Triforce, just not a frontline yet. Not able to sustain any form of damage. So, yeah, just a moment ago we were looking at a 10,000 gold lead, just about for long anime schlongs. It's now a little under 8,000 after that fight. So some gold coming back in the way of Power Bottom Boys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what they're going to have to do to kind of shorten this gold gap here. They're going to have to pick out the long anime schlongs when Garen is not there. It is very crucial for General Dill to stay grouped with his teammates when he has to be. And this is when League of Legends, I believe, doesn't become a science anymore and it becomes an art. You need to know when to be grouped and when not to. I guess that makes it a science, but whatever. Just work with me. You know what I mean? Like,
science is an art, and Oriana is in the wrong spot right now.
Oh no! Just like I said about League being an art here, it looks like Rob is going to be caught out. He's going to flash, but General Dill is hungry. He's looking for him, as it looks like the rest of the long animation schlongs are going to find the power bottom boys here. They all flash over the wall, and goodbye support. It looks like they did that just for the support and an inhibitor. I don't know. It probably was worth it in the end, but wow. Yeah, and actually, they probably are just going to end here, as it looks like Front Lash is desperately trying to ult them away, but only lands it on one of them. And it looks like Digital Love is just ulting to try to get some minions down, but it looks like Rob is actually going to ult the Lucian, and Lucian goes down. However, it's at the price of Ezreal here. Both AD carries are down, so wave clearing on both sides might be a little bit more detrimental, as, oh my god, Frontlash found Victor as he was recalling on the wall, and he goes down because they all flashed over the wall here. You know, like I said, I don't know if that blown flash like that was necessarily worth it, as that was a 1 for 2.
So I think they need to get a fight on their terms again, is what needs to happen for Long Animation Longs to close out this game. Because when they were able to catch people with Garen, when they were able to limit the engage potential of Rakan and Orianna, that's when they were doing the best.
Speaking of that engage here, it looks like Morgana might be caught out here, as Rob is looking for Morgana. But yeah, Reese, I gotta agree with you here. If the long anime schlongs just did Baron instead of doing that aggressive split pushing, they probably would have just ended the game, in all honesty. Having that Baron buff, especially when you're this far ahead, is that 12k? No, that's 8k. They're 8k ahead in gold. I mean, that is just so hard to come back for if I'm a power bottom boy. So with that being said, if I was on the side of long anime schlongs, I would just go to Baron. I don't understand why they're trying to put pressure on this mid lane, because they win the team fight. You know, if Garen is with his team, they just win. That's what they've been doing here. Is the Poppy's going to try to engage here, but it won't really work here. Victor is going in a little too far ahead, but a little bit of an engage here from Power Bottom Boys. It's just not enough, though, to actually start a full-out fight.
So,
go ahead, Reese.
I feel like Poppy should have a bit more magic resist. She's taking a lot of damage from Victor. As her red buff runs out, she doesn't really have the regen to recover from it the way she was. But yeah, if she gets possibly Adaptive Helm, that'd be good. Or Abyssal Mask, probably a little better.
Yeah, I agree. I think if she built a magic resist item now, that would be good. But you got to think, though, Victor is only 2 kills out of 15. And everybody else is doing AD. But it looks like we have the TP coming in here. And it looks like the Rakan is actually going to... Oh my god, we had a triple Orianna Rakan ult here. And that just wipes Jax. However, it's a 2 for 2 right now. As the long animation... Schlongs are looking to keep this engage up, but they are so low here. We had Labby flash away. I don't believe he needs to, as he is almost still at full health here, and that stops the Baron.
Yeah, and that's the strength of the disengage that Orianna and Ezreal can bring. Is, you know, after that initial engage, Garen needs to just run at Ezreal. If he doesn't have flash up, his only way to get onto Ezreal is to run at him. With the Iceborne Gauntlet, Ezreal can just say, no, you don't get to run at me.
Definitely.
So...
So it looks like actually Super Minions also took out the other Nexus turret here. So again, like I said before, if I'm long anime schlongs, just go to the Baron. Just go there, as 5, and just wait for the Power Bottom Boys to walk up. That's all they need to do, and they will probably win.
Yeah, and yeah, both teleports were used recently, so if Ezreal, for example, is down there wave clearing, then there's nothing he can do to respond other than ult, I guess. Much good as that's going to do. So, yeah, long animation schlongs really just needs to focus on objectives right now. I think the fights will come at the objectives. Forcing a fight in the enemy base where they have towers, few as they are, is not going to help. Garen going down split push, while he does have teleport, I don't think it really makes sense to split push a lane where you've already got. Well, I suppose the inhibitor's already come back up, so that does make some sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the team isn't on Baron, so I don't really know where the pressure is coming from.
Yeah, and it looks like we have the on the way pin here for Dragon. Again, I don't know if that's the call. Like I said, I think they should just go to Baron. Knowing that General Dill is in that bot lane allows the Power Bottom Boys to go to that, topside jungle and put pressure on the Baron and say, General Dill, you're gonna have to TP for this. But I really don't know what the call is from Long Anime Schlongs, and I don't understand why they would take Ocean Drake over Baron. I understand that they have to reset and let the waves get back to pushing, so they have that pressure. However, it just felt like you said, Reese Garen was just in the bot lane, like with his Long Anime Schlong, just hanging out. So,
Boys
and
fighting Baron, thought the jungler. Okay, so they backed off of it. Yeah, Lucian threw his W so it would hit Poppy while she was clearing wards, and then they put another ward back in there. I don't think they see the wards outside of the pit though. Okay, Sweet Bro catch them.
it is a
now they are. Yeah, Trundle's in bot side of the map, so they might just turn onto it. No, they're actually going to catch people.
Oh, it looks like. So it looks like the Power Bottom Boys here are just trying to slow down this game here. Obviously, there is only one sort of way to negate the engage that they have, and that's the Black Shield. So the later this game goes, the better it is, as those engage abilities on the side of the Power Bottom Boys will get more effective and have more efficiency. So, and if we actually look at that Baron pit, like you said, Reese, the Power Bottom Boys have so much vision. They have 4 wards here to the 1 control ward in the pit for Long Anime Schlong. So it's, I don't know, it's not game over. That's for sure. Oh, and it looks like Victor's actually going to have that blue buff. Definitely that's something you need as a Victor here, so you can have lower cooldowns and just pump out the magic damage, as he hasn't really gotten a lot of kills this game. However, it looks like the Long Anime Schlongs are trying to force a Baron fight here, as only 4 of them are in the topside jungle, though, as General Dill does have TP and is applying bot lane pressure here. However, that might give the Power Bottom Boys the green light here. Trundle is trying to flank here, as Neil the Steel's actually going to hop over the wall here, and that's going to cause Rob the Flash here. The blue spine also slows Rob here, as Neil the Steel's looking for Rob, and Rob just goes down. However, it looks like Orianna ult landed on a few people here, but it's just not enough. Neil the Steel is so low, but he has the GA, so he's just going and taking tower on Front Lash here, as Front Lash is actually going to ult General Dill away. It might have been more effective to ult the other members of the Long Anime Schlongs here away, but this might be middle inhibitor tower here, as General Dill is just tanking tower shots. He's so freaking beefy. Holy cow, can anybody take him down? I don't think so here, as the middle inhibitor is going to be pressured now. Oh my god, Vladimir was able just to kill Ezreal here, which from the Q here, and it looks like Front Lash is going to be caught out here as well. So his ult is down, and you can't do anything about it here, and that is going to be a GG and a game 1 win here for the Long Anime Schlongs.
Yeah, good game.
Yeah, GGWP, both sides here. The Power Bottom Boys did not go down without a fight.
So I'll let you go ahead. I still gotta gather my thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, so Reese, I was actually going to ask you, who do you think deserves MVP for this game on the side of the Long Anime Schlongs?
I'll look at some stats before I answer that question. What do you think?
Well, I think I just want to give it to General Dill here. He only died once, and he has 16 kill participation out of 21 kills, which is the most out of his team, I believe, if I'm doing some quick math. So I think I'm going to give it to him. His Garen was just so disgusting to play against, and he was able just to take a lot of damage for his team. And if we could actually look at the damage taken stat, I think that would physical damage taken here. Yeah, Garen took 30,000 damage, which was the most on his team, and he only died once. So he was able to regen a lot and provide a lot of peel as well as aggression for his team. So gotta give it to him.
Yeah, he took 30,000 damage just about. You can also see he mitigated 36,000 damage. He reduced more damage than he took.
Holy moly!
Yeah, which is about even with what Poppy did, but still pretty impressive. Having so much damage put out. Yeah, most damage on the team as well. Yeah, I think I do have to give it to Garen.
Oh man, and that damage chart is just upsetting to see if I am a power bottom boy. Or actually, no, it's not. I'm sorry, I was looking at a different graph. The damage chart actually looks pretty good. Poppy, Ezreal, and Orianna did actually fairly well for damage, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, that makes sense because a lot of their damage came from kiting Ezreal and Orianna.
In particular, they could kite back as Garen and Jax are trying to run them down, and they're able to put out damage while Garen can't catch up to them. So it makes sense that they have quite a lot of damage, but Garen's damage able to.
But yeah, with that being said here, Rich actually made the MVP poll, so please vote on that as it is linked in the chat for who do you think is MVP. Like you heard from me, I believe Garen deserved it. Reese, who do you think deserves it?
I'm going to go Garen as well.
Nice. So you heard it here from your play-by-play and colorcaster of the night that Garen deserves that MVP. And with that being said, I believe we're going to end the VOD for streaming purposes, or we're going to end this stream for VOD purposes. Wow, hello. And yeah, you catch us both right back here for game 2.